Let's talk some football. Welcome in former Louisiana running back Emory Hunt. We do not have smelling salts. We were not able to obtain those from our local drugstore. They were not available, so I was hoping to be able to, open up a pack of smelling salts and get going. But we're going to go now. And so is JJ McCarthy, back for the Vikings. Last year suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee in his preseason debut against the Raiders. Missed the entire season. Here on Saturday, Emory, he played one drive, 4-7, 30 yards, 8 rushing yards, including picking up the first down with his legs on 4th down, ultimately leading Minnesota on that drive that led to a field goal. Most importantly, he's healthy. What did you see from JJ McCarthy's first preseason game here? He comes out healthy.
Well, he looked a lot like what he looked like last year in the preseason. Did a lot of the same things, good throws, good timing, got outside the pocket, utilized his legs to pick up first downs, got out of bounds, most importantly. He didn't turn the ball over this year, which is always a plus, so that's a step forward in the right direction. And he showed the athleticism that you fell in love with as a prospect, and this is his second full season in this system, so you expect him to hit the ground running.
When you look at what happened last year with Sam Darnold, right, a remarkable season for Minnesota, led the Vikings to a 14-3 record, parlayed that into a big contract with Seattle. So what's the ceiling for the Vikings this season with JJ McCarthy as QB1? And of course, you got Kevin O'Connell, who has turned into a quarterback whisperer.
The ceiling is the playoffs. And it may sound far-fetched to some, but that is the ceiling. Now, you're not going to expect them to win 14 games, but because you have a guy that's entering the second year of his system, got some playing time. Obviously, he's spent all last summer, spring, and the one game in the preseason getting that live game rep or getting those live reps in practice. You expect this football team that has 2 good wide receivers, a very good tight end in TJ Hawkinson, a stable of backs, a very good offensive line, and we know this defense is definitely top 10. So even though he's coming off of an injury and it's still essentially his rookie season, you expect him to win 9 games or at least get to the postseason. So I think that's the ceiling for a guy in his first year full-time as a starter. But because the situation is set up perfectly for him, the expectations for him to hit the ground running. Not 14 games, but definitely have a winning season for sure.
A lot to watch for in week 1 when they visit the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. So that'll be something to watch for. Also, what to watch for, the Giants, they play their first 2 games of the regular season on the road, starting with Washington, who had a phenomenal season last year. Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart tossed a dart to little Jordan Humphrey, 28-yard touchdown. That was a great throw. I mean, that was fantastic. That's what you want to see from Dart, to make those throws on the run and be able to come away with a touchdown there. It was a great catch also by little Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah, on that touchdown pass, it was touch, timing, anticipation. His ball was thrown right when it needed to be, right where it also needed to be, and little Jordan Humphrey did a great job running underneath it to make the play. I love how they're building a plan for Jackson Dart in New York. I've spent all spring, all summer out there at Giants OTAs, mini camps, and this year's training camp, and Dart has been getting a lot of work with the twos on his football team, and what that does, it allows him to slowly develop behind the scenes. It also helps the Giants protect themselves from themselves, so they're not pressed to get him into action. You have Russell Wilson, who's the established starter. Jameis Winston can work with any group, so that's why you're giving Jackson Dart reps with the twos, which is why today looked like how it looked. He hit the ground running. It was smooth, got out of the huddle, seamless, effortless in terms of how his operation was, and the Giants are actually utilizing the plan that they have in place. So during the regular season, when Winston probably goes to the twos, it allows Dart to now work behind the scenes and continue to work on the finer parts of his game. But the big part that they did this offseason was getting him a lot of reps with the twos, because you can't do that during the season, because that will mean you're expecting him to play this year.
It's easy to fall in love with rookie quarterbacks. Is it safe to say that you're feeling pretty good about Jackson Dart? I know it's only 1 game, but are you feeling like, you're feeling pretty good about him?
I'm feeling good about him, the process, and the plan. Because, again, I've said this before, Akeem, if you look at my scouting reports for both Matt Corral and Jackson Dart side by side, they are very similar in what the strengths and areas of improvements are. But Matt Corral didn't get that opportunity to develop and work behind the scenes to break down his game coming out of that offense. Jackson Dart has a better chance because he is not being pressed to start. Corral was being thrust into the Panthers quarterback battle for the QB1 spot, got injured, didn't play well. Then we saw him in the UFL still try to fight through that adversity, got injured, and then got usurped by Adrian Martinez, who's now with the New York Jets. Dart has the luxury and the benefit of working with a staff that has a plan for him to develop long term, which means his projection should be a lot better than that of Matt Corral.
So then how are you handling this when, let's say, Russell Wilson struggles, because there will be a point in the season where he goes through some adversity and there's going to be calls to put Jackson Dart in the game, and I know you have Jameis Winston on the depth chart as well. How are you going to handle that situation, having seen the plan, having seen some of the development here in the offseason?
Russell Wilson would have to completely bottom out, because I'll tell you this, being out there, Russell Wilson can still play. Now, the spin out that he has become known for, he's 36 years old in that regard. So he can't spin out like he used to.
Right.
But the mind is still 25. And as long as the mind is 25, that means the decision making is also 25. And he's getting the ball where it needs to be. So this Giants team won't be bad. But if Russell Wilson, for whatever reason, falls off a cliff and you don't trust Jameis Winston from series to series, getting Dart those experiences here in the spring and the summer with the twos kind of helps you a little bit more, so trust that he can go in there and keep things kind of afloat, because he doesn't look bad. It didn't look terrible out there, and that's what you like to see from a rookie that you're trying to thrust into an adverse situation.
So best case scenario, if you're a Giants fan, you want to be sitting there going, oh yeah, we got Jackson Dart waiting in the wings, because you're not thinking about him, because you're not struggling this season, because you do have the veterans on your depth chart.
Think in terms of Green Bay with Jordan Love and how long he said, even Green Bay with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, think of that progression. 2 years would be the ideal situation, but
that feels like a long time.
Yeah, but 1 year, Russ is on a 1 year deal.
Right.
2026 sets up perfectly for Jackson Dart, and it also gives you as a franchise another draft class, another free agent class of getting the team better around him, especially on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary.
All right, as for the Giants' first pick in this year's draft, he's going to be playing right away. Didn't play a whole lot today. Edge rusher Abdul Carter played 6 snaps, had 3 pressures against Buffalo. Emory, limited reps, but you saw why he can be a problem. We saw this at Penn State.
And I've seen this all spring and summer, Hakeem.
Yes.
Like, listen, this dude has been a problem for everyone. And it's the fact that remember when Micah Parsons came out? People forget that he missed that last year of college football because he sat out, kind of like Jamar Chase. So when we did see him in the pros, we didn't know he could rush the passer like that. We was like, wow, I didn't know he could put his hand in the dirt. But with Abdul Carter, we saw him play both off the ball at Penn State and on the line of scrimmage. And what we're seeing out here at Giants camp is him doing both as well. So he's been getting cross-trained as a guy that can play with his hand off the ground. He looks so good dropping back in zone coverage. He also looks even better rushing upfield and rushing a quarterback. What I love about him the most, he is able to string together multiple moves en route to the quarterback. So you'll see him set guys up, and then maybe like the 3rd rep, he'll add another move. Then the 4th rep, boom, here he comes with all of it playing together and getting to the quarterback. So he's going to be a problem. And the cool part about his situation, just like Dart, when they drafted Kayvon Thibodeau, they expected him to come in and be the guy right away, right? Well, now for Abdul Carter, he can come in and be Abdul Carter, because you have Kayvon Thibodeau, you have Brian Burns. So now you can come in and just do your one thing really well, rush the passer, which is why I think he's going to be one of these guys, 1 or 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I don't want you to just say yes because we're talking about the Giants right now and be a prisoner of the moment. I want you to really sink in here and answer this question.
Do I ever give you hot takes?
No, I don't. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. Why should I be excited about the Giants? Coming off the season they did, their first 4 weeks of the regular season, let me read them. At Washington, at Dallas, home against Kansas City, home against the Chargers. So the first 4 weeks, a gauntlet. We know that the Giants' schedule is tough this season. Why should I be excited at looking at them as being an intriguing team this year that could make some noise?
Think about the first time they played Washington last year. Washington beat them like 21-17. Mm-hmm. The 21 was all field goals. Remember that? They didn't get a touchdown. They couldn't get into the end zone against the Giants. Now the Giants have a better defensive front. Offensively, when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson, he's a floor raiser. So now people are starting to realize, like, wow, they have really good receivers outside of Malik Neighbors. Wow, they have a really good tight end in Theo Johnson. So they have weapons because the quarterback is competent. And when the quarterback is competent, it lifts the umbrella off of the defense. I'm sorry, up the defense. And now you're able to run the football better with Tyrone Tracy and the host of backs, Cam Scatterbo, when he gets back out there. And so when you look at what they do well, rush the passer, that puts the Commanders in play with their new rebuilt offensive line. The Chargers, that puts them in play now with a rebuilt offensive line. And if you can run the football and play solid defense, complementary football can still win you games. In my opinion, this is a team that can win 7, 8, maybe even 9 games this year.
Okay. Hey, by the way, you mentioned the kicking. Shouts to Graham Gano. He was 3 for 3 on Saturday from 50+.
Shout out to Ray Davis, the running back.
Okay, fair.
Extra points.
That's fine too. Yeah, that's fine too. But I'm just saying, Graham Gano, like if he's healthy and you're out there getting field goal, that's huge. That's a huge weapon to have. So shouts to Graham Gano as well, getting it done for the Giants. They win the game, significant to some. Jackson Dart looks great. So does Abdul Carter. As you take a look at the standout performers, we talked about Jackson Dart. Best case scenario, according to Emery, let him sit for a year behind Russ. Let him get in the offense. Let him learn. Let him develop. He looked great on this afternoon, throwing a touchdown to Lil Jordan Humphrey, his first as a professional. Hopefully just the start to come for Jackson Dart as an